When you want to watch a movie really badly, you want to watch a really bad movie. That was the motto of the North Texas Movie Depreciation Club, a group I was proud to be a founding member of a full 20 years ago back in my Dallas days. They taught me to appreciate the utter dreck of cinema, be it U-Ball's total disregard for quality, Ed Wood's habit of replacing enthusiasm for talent, or Friedberg and Seltzer's habit of just spamming out complete crap. Okay, appreciate is the wrong word. Endure is the better word. But what if you could relive those crappy movies and make them better? That's the premise of Stellar's game One Book Wonder. It came from the Late 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 Show. It's a multi-genre game, so you can recreate the unwatchable train wrecks of Highlander 2, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Jim and the Holograms, or Pulp Fiction. I'm Mr. Welch, and these are my mad musings, and today we are going back to the movies. It came from the Late 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 Show, is from Stellar Games back in 1989, with multiple reprints up to 1993. There was a follow-up book that expanded on the original design, but the main book was a complete game that you could play from the start. It's not a complex game. Since it was based on a comedy, you didn't need a lot of rules, and The Late Show met those requirements. The basic mechanics of The Late Show is you're all actors on a series of Z-grade movies. In short, you're a dude playing another dude. If your character dies, you just grab another character in the movie and play them until the adventure is done, and then the next adventure you get to use your original character again. It was a bit ingenious in design terms. Death is a risk, but it's not permanent. There's a bit of a disconnect because the actors gain skills in real life that translate into the game, like learning how to fight with a sawzall. But this game relies heavily on the MST3K mantra, that remember it's just a game and you should really just relax. There's 4 stats in the game to start, plus survival points and your fame rating. Character creation and gameplay is all done with D10, so roll 4d10 for each of the core stats, assign them to build, brains, dexterity, and looks. Your fame starts off at 0 because you're a nobody, and your survival points are a calculated stat. Then you get to roll your skill points, and that's where I had to reread the book several times to make sure I was reading it right. And I was. So remember when your friends asked you why you needed so many dice? Well, this is the game you can show them, because for your skill rolls, you roll 20d10. 20. I did not stutter. Keep track of each individual roll because you're going to apply those dice to different skills in the game. You can apply multiple dice to the same skills, but you can't go over the cap of 100 to start. So all you White Wolf players, now is the time to show off your D10 collection. Mechanics are pretty simple, as it's just a standard percentile system. The monsters that you're going to be fighting only have a few stats. They have their survival points and the FX skill. The better the special effects, the deadlier the monster. You roll the FX skill for all attacks and all skills, and the damage is a set amount. Any special abilities will be detailed in the monster's description. It's not a game where you're going to spend a lot of time trying to min-max. The beauty of the game is the fame system. This represents your actor's influence over the movie. The higher the fame, the better the wardrobe, the better the props, and the better the roles you get in the movie. All the actors are terribly typecast, so you're going to play the same character in every single movie. Doesn't matter the movie, they will rewrite the script to make your character fit. Have you ever wanted to play Lord Humongous in Showgirls? Here's your chance. Fame gives you an extra chance to avoid death, because more famous actors aren't killed off as easily as nameless extras. Because the game has a total grindhouse feel, there's a lot of fourth wall breaking. Every character gets to invoke a commercial break once per game. This means the actual game stops for 60 seconds, and the players get to quickly come up with a plan with no interference from the storyteller. Another aspect is the stunt double, which is exactly like it sounds. Before you take damage, you can call on your stunt double, who will take all the damage in that action for you. The problem is your stuntman can't regain health during the movie while you can. If you use up your stuntman, all the remaining damage in the movie is going straight to you. Another option you can try once per movie is to try to walk off the set. If the game is about to do something you don't like, or something happened to you that you didn't want to happen, you can make a fame roll and try to get the results reversed. Fail, and you've wasted your roll. If you pass, however, the results of the encounter are completely changed. The monster turns out to be allergic to water. The hillbilly pawnbrokers decide to start with the crime boss instead of you. The danger is that this applies to certain monsters. So if you manage to easily defeat the Mad Slasher in the straight-to-video classic, the Black & Decker Pecker Wrecker Part 7, he can roll his FX to start the combat all over again, and this time he's beefed up. Your last remaining option for fame is a last-ditch effort that's only for the truly desperate, and that's the film break, where the film literally breaks. You can only do this once per game, ever. It forces the cast to permanently burn 1d10 fame points that can be split up between the cast on who's giving up what, but whatever happened in the last scene is completely written to the cast's favor. Sure, it isn't shown on screen because it's a film break, and the scene then cuts to the aftermath where everyone is safe and sound and the monster is defeated, but you have to take the cast's word for it. They beat the bad guy and everybody got away, and they're not going to say anything to the contrary. Fame is the true measure of success in The Late Show. At the end of each movie, every character gains 10d10 and new skill increases, but fame only goes up if you did a great job in the movie. You don't have to survive the movie to gain extra fame. You can actually get bonus points for going out like a boss. You get bonus fame for making terrible decisions that furthered the plot and the fun. You get points for excellent role-playing, for sucking up to the director, or coming up with a new way to defeat the big bad. If the director has to use a Deus Ex Machina, like the military showing up unexpectedly, or the big bad forgetting to kill the heroes when he had the chance, your fame does decrease. The book isn't that long for a rule book, but the number of monsters it has in it is insane. Just about every horror, sci-fi, and fantasy cliche from the 80s and before is here, in trademark-safe language, of course. Do you want to fight a disgruntled NHL hockey player with a knife fetish? He's in there. How about a flambéed dream killer? Yep, definitely you got him. There's singing plants that happen to have a taste for human flesh. A mute William Shatner cosplayer has a write-up. There's even rules for killer tomatoes. This book is just so expansive in the number of bad guys it throws at you. Because of the simple rules and the fact that as long as there are bad movies, you've got a plot this game will never get old. There's always going to be bad movies. And one of the beauties of this game is the way the rules are written. You can replay good movies badly, and that's always a possibility. Bad acting is rewarded in the late show, and taking scripts off the rail is practically demanded. How would you like to have Ripley at Hadley's Hope bugger out and turn the movie into a legal thriller as Burt gets set on trial? That's easily done. You could combine the best parts of Die Hard, Saw, and Mary Poppins. Not a problem. Recreate 12 Angry Men using nothing but Gary Oldman characters. This is a game that writes itself. You just have to supply the characters. It came from the Late Show, varies wildly in price, but if you're patient, you can find a copy for less than $20. There's a sequel to it that gives more adventures, but the main book is standalone. It does have 2 adventures in the main book, but you're just going to want to rerun movies you hate or love. The sequel I found for just over $10 on some used book sites. It's not a book that's in demand. If you want a one-shot game, this is a perfect game just for that. If you have gamers that are movie buffs or you just want to fix a long-hated movie in your own particular way, there's no reason why you shouldn't pick this game up. Next time around, I'm going even goofier with my review of the Bullwinkle and Rocky game, one of the strangest games ever put out by TSR. Like, it uses spinners and hand puppets. Strange. I would say that this is the strangest game of all time, but I'm still looking for my copy of the Dallas RPG, the one with JR. But until I get these hand puppets on, remember, Ed Wood wanted to make movies in the worst possible way. So he did.